bringing you the
heat.
That's what I wanted to say, but so welcome. My name is Sharice again.
My name is Matilda, fashion designer extraordinaire.
And nurse, healer, all of that.
Yes. So we're coming to you today to talk about self-love.
Yes.
The last time we were here, we gave you all a little exercise to write down, 5 things that you love about yourself. Yes. And I hope you all did the homework. I know I did.
I did too.
Yes.
I had 22 and
I had about 25. So I'm very proud of myself for that.
Yeah.
So hopefully that exercise went well for you. Hopefully you learned a lot about yourself, and hopefully you learned some things that maybe you want to work on about yourself.
Yes. So self-love. What is self-love? Let's define some words.
Okay.
Let's define self and then love.
Yes.
You got it.
So
it's really important to define things because in order to have a proper understanding of what we're talking about and what you say about yourself or with anything when speaking, you got to know the meaning of the words.
Exactly. So Google defines self as a person's essential being that distinguishes them from others, especially considered as the object of introspection or reflexive action. So that's deep.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to a lecture the other day by Minister Farrakhan, and he talked about the fact that when you look in the mirror at yourself, you will never see that person again. The planet will never see that person again. You are created as an individual, and God put you here for a purpose.
Yes.
So that's what that definition brought to my mind. Okay, so love. Love is an intense feeling of deep affection. Wow. So when you think about self, it's your individuality is what sets you apart. And then when you think about love, it's an intense feeling of deep affection. So basically, this is my definition, and you can add to sum it all up, is your deep affection for your individuality.
Yes. And then also I'd like to add, because love, you read the noun, it's also an action word.
Hello.
So your self-love is always reflected in how you care for yourself.
That's right.
And caring for yourself, like we said in the first video, is more than going to get your hair and your nails done routinely every 2 weeks.
Right.
It's deeper than that. It's how you speak to yourself, how you relate to yourself, whether you putting yourself first is not an what's the word I'm looking for? When people put themselves selfish type thing.
No, it's not selfish at all.
It's more because we think, well, let me put myself on the back burner so I can help everybody else out. Especially as women, we always put ourselves on the back burner and think that we're actually helping others when we're really hurting ourselves and hurting them, because you can only give as much as you give yourself to other people.
Absolutely. You can't give what you don't have.
Right.
So that really pretty much sums it all up.
what I was going to say, and use some examples from my personal life, because I didn't fall out the sky.
Right. And that's why we're sharing, because we actually can bear witness to some of these things.
So, I never really considered having I love myself or whatever, but I thought that I kind of cared about myself.
Yes.
Until listening to a sister named Sister Yaya made me really delve deeper into what self-love and self-care is. And that goes to how I speak to myself.
Absolutely.
And the conditions I put on myself. So, here's an example, a real example. When I got out of high school, my skin just broke out, right? It went crazy. And so I was using that as a condition as to why I didn't feel good about myself, why I didn't deserve certain things because of the way my skin looked. And that became a condition. So, you know, I was going through a whole cleansing process. I changed my diet and everything before my skin broke out. So anytime now, my skin is not perfect, but anytime now that my skin breaks out, it's like I put a condition on myself, like, oh my gosh, and all this kind of stuff, where it's like, that, girl, that does not define me, one. And two, I have to love myself regardless of what my skin looks like, how big I am, how small I am, and then look deeper into why my skin is breaking out. Is it stress? It goes back to the self-care.
Yes. Stress,
you know, putting limitations on myself that aren't necessary in relationships that aren't serving me.
Yes.
It's all intertwined into one.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we put all these conditions on ourselves because of the society that we live in, especially when it comes to our appearance.
Yes. So our appearance has a lot to do with how we feel about ourselves in regards to the social list, for lack of a better word, that is placed upon us, or that we make, that we put on ourselves. Yeah. So I 100% agree with you. Like, because society says I should have a big butt, you know, let me go and get some injections. Even though if you got some injections or if you got a Brazilian butt lift, that's on you. But hopefully, I hope you made the decision to do that based off of a love for yourself, not based off of what other people think that you should have. Exactly. You know, so...
But what's wrong with accepting your own and being yourself?
There's nothing wrong with that.
If you're not born with that...
There's nothing wrong with it.
Thank God.
Thank God.
That's not for you.
It's not for you. It's God put you here as an individual. We go back to the definition of self. Right. It's your unique individualism. I'm making up words today. But it is, you are uniquely you for a reason. Yes. God did not make a mistake. Exactly. And you had mentioned something earlier, how you place these different things on yourself, or you punish yourself because your skin was breaking out or whatever. That goes back to, she said something about language. Yeah. You know, sometimes, and this goes back to myself, if I'm not saving money the way I should, or if I'm not, you know, making fabulous garments, which I did make, I made both of these, but if I'm not making fabulous garments every week, then I'm so hard on myself, like, oh man, you got it, like, why aren't you doing this? Or, you know, you got to do better. And recently, listening to Sister Yaya, follow @Feminine Success on Instagram. We're referencing her. But recently, I learned to talk differently to myself. And look, Matilda, you did the best that you could do. You know, you worked as hard as you could work. You know, next time I know you're going to do much better because you learned a lot from this situation. Like, just changing the way that we talk to ourselves. I mean, because our words mean something. Our words are so powerful. The power of life and death are literally in the tongue. So you can speak those things. You know, there's a scripture that says, God only says to a thing, be, and it is. We have that same capability. And we do it every single day in our lives. And if we're not speaking those positive words, then we are manifesting the negative things. Exactly. And they are coming to us, and we're wondering why these things are happening to us. And to go back to self-love, that is a part of it. If you really love yourself, if you really care for yourself, then you would not be ingesting negative things. You will not be telling yourself negative things. You will not be punishing yourself because you think that you could have done better according to somebody's weird or society's weird or unnecessary or outrageous standards. So we have to be mindful of how we talk to ourselves. And that's why we gave you the homework the last time about writing down the things you love about yourself so that you can settle on the best part of yourself. All right!
10 minutes goes by fast.
It goes by so fast. we'll see you next time.